Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to War on the Sea. Time has progressed a little bit since you last saw the previous episodes, and the Japanese have sprung a bit of a surprise on me. They managed to somehow get a troop transport over to Milne Bay. And not just that, but they also dropped off a ton of troops. So I can add this to my growing list of bases that I have to recapture. Task Force 20 is in the area, and they now have an encounter with this group, but unfortunately a little bit after the fact. The troops are already on the ground. If I could have sunk these guys before, that would have been great. How they got here, I don't know. Submarines cannot scout very far from what I've seen, so they could have approached from the north through the Solomon Sea and maybe through the exit from Cape Gloucester, down to the south and over to Milne Bay. I only got a warning when these guys were basically just offshore. So vectoring Task Force 20 over was not in time. I might, however, be able to get some sort of revenge on them. It is 3:39 in the morning / in the night. The weather is okay, sea state 4. So let's see if we can get some revenge. Task Force 20, by the way, comprised of 4 submarines. Darter, Drum, Halibut and Kingfish. Now I have set these guys out to quite a lot of spacing, so that they are, I think about, what was it, 1,000 yards apart? Because in the global map I set it to that. So they should be able to cover quite a bit of territory. The question is, where is the Japanese group? And I know I have an encounter with them, but apparently I didn't have to take it, I could just ignore it. Which leads me to believe that maybe there was a new patch which allows you to, once you have the element of stealth in your advantage, so i.e. a submarine encounter versus anything else, you don't actually have to take it. Now, I don't quite understand where the Japanese are. I believe they should be to the southwest, so that's, let's say, 270 and less. But I'm not seeing anything on the surface there. Nor is my radar picking anything up. Now, of course, visibility is not great, only 36%. And it's nighttime, so that's making it worse. But I'm just not seeing anything. Although, there's something there. That one little lighter pixel. On a bearing of, I'd say about 225. But I was hoping to get a close encounter with these things. It looks like I'm not getting that. No. Submarines really require the element of surprise. And I have that, but I need the element of surprise in the sense that I need to be jumping these guys. I need to be right on top of them. Aside from that, I'm getting some of my ships back to the new hybrids. For example, the Somers is returning. I already have one of the ships back in the dock. I have 153 command points, so I think it's high time that we spend some more points on ships. In this case, I'm going to go for a couple of heavy cruisers. Reason for this is that the AI just keeps sending out destroyers. Mostly annoying, but I do want them gone. So let's go with a couple of Northampton class heavy cruisers, Louisville, Chicago, and Augusta, and you guys are going to get a couple of destroyers for escorts. Let's say we're gonna get some... actually, is that required? Hold on. How many ships do the Japanese still have, the submarine class? Type B1? 1, 2, 3? 1, 1. Okay, so there's a total of 4 submarines on the map. In that case, we're not going to give these guys any kind of a destroyer escort because I don't feel that they need it. Task Force 23. Set a course. All the way there. We also have Task Force 29 out here. Pensacola, Salt Lake City and Northampton. And these were originally scouting for the group that got their troops offloaded on Santa Cruz. But unfortunately, I think it vanished. I did not get any good look at it. So, I'm going to pause the recording here, and I'll get back to you when we have another encounter. There it is, another encounter. Task Force 24, that's the Hornets group, is now looking at a light cruiser and 2 destroyers. Fortunately, it is daytime, it's 9:35, so I have the opportunity to, just before we go into the battle, launch some aircraft. Considering the threat, I'm thinking that Dauntless bombers are going to be my best asset. Let's see what the range is, actually. 12 nautical miles, okay. But we're going to have to begin the encounter anyway, so we're going to have to blow up some destroyers and a light cruiser. Let's see, we got the McDonough, the Jenkins, the Hornet, the San Juan, the O'Bannon, Oakland, San Diego, and Strong. Give me the radars. That goes for the entirety of the group. Can we spot them yet? No. Curious. It's like, relative to the previous episodes, it now takes less time to spot something and to get into conflict with it. Ah, there they are. But at the same time, you can barely spot them. Sort of. Anyway, here's a light cruiser. I am kind of curious what sort of class that is. Because I thought I eradicated almost all of them at this point. The Tenryus were dead. The Kumas. It could be a Kuma. Misidentification 101. At this point, I think I'm actually looking at a worse track record than Jingles. Nagaras are all dead. It's not a Sendai because it doesn't have 4 funnels. Agano class? No, definitely not. So I guess we might be looking at the last of the Kumas. The Kitakami or the Kiso. So let's say that target 1 Kitakami or Kuma class. When it comes to the destroyers, I believe I already eradicated a load of those as well. I always get my DD identification wrong, so go ahead and laugh in the comments. Turret, turret, torp, torp, torp. Could be a Fubuki class. Cannot be an Akatsuki, that makes things easier. Sashio? No, the second funnel's too wide. So that means that we are probably looking at one of these, a Fubuki. Target 3, older design, 2 funnels, turret between, turrets, turrets, turret, torpedo launcher, torpedo launcher. It might be one of the last surviving Mitsuki classes. This one has the double torpedo launcher, the Kamikaze class, so I'm going to say it's a Mitsuki. Range relative to my ships. 19,000 yards and increasing. So we're heading away, which is actually good. So I can let the Dauntlesses go on the offensive. Gentlemen, I have a target. I need you to attack the Fubuki. Second Dauntless wing, Mutsuki. Third Dauntless wing, Kuma. As for the rest of my fleet, I don't want the destroyers engaging because there are still some destroyers about, just not that many. But I can have the, which is it, the San Juan and the San Diego go off together and engage the threat. So I want you and San Diego. You guys are going to form up. Line ahead is fine. I'm going to peel off from the formation, starboard turn, increase the flank speed. I don't have any other cruisers, right? Oh, I still have this one, the Oakland. Oakland, peel off left, port side. Alright. Again, I'm not looking for a fair fight. If you're looking for a fair fight, something has gone wrong. Something is about to go horribly wrong here as well. I hope that the collision avoidance is going to kick in. Don't ram your division mate. Thank you, that was awfully close. That way. I think the air attacks will not be completely capable of eradicating the target, but they will be able to cripple them, slow them down, and make them sitting ducks for the cruisers to come in and kill them. Because currently they're doing about 20 knots. Attack vector, however, is not stellar. I'm gonna have these guys turn to the right. Give them a better attack vector against the Mitsuki, their target. That will do. And you guys, we're gonna go for the Kuma. So I'm also gonna have you come in from another flank. The port side of the Kuma. There we go, turn back. This guy took a beating and a half. And here's the rest of it. Oh dear. How the hell am I going to catch that in the thumbnail? I could catch that in the thumbnail. Ho 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 ho! Holy shit. Now the cruiser. Whoa! Jesus, these things are getting mauled. One of the DDs is dead. The other one seems to be in serious trouble. Critical flooding on the Kuma. Wow. Did they buff air attacks, or was this just a really successful one? What's the range to the Mitsuki? 24,000 yards. Okay. Increase the flank. Sun 1, already at flank. Now I could have the Dauntlesses go back and engage this ship again, but I don't think I need to. Because I think the risk to the aircraft is currently not worth the reward. So we're going to have these guys just peel off. More or less stay in the area, but not do anything in the offensive role. There goes the Kuma. Damn. Might not even need the cruisers. What's your status? Heavy damage and heavy flooding. And I think you might be dead in the water there. Yep. Wow. That was effective. All targets killed off, basically before they could fire a single shot. Good. Well done. Set a course over there. And we're going to have the Bluefish and Blackfish do a bit of a patrol here. Unfortunately, I cannot launch aircraft just yet. Australia is safely out of the combat area here, next to Rabaul. She is going all the way back to base, to the New Hebrides, to get replenished. Already replenished at the New Hebrides is the group of... where are they? Louisville? No. These. Washington, San Francisco, and Minneapolis. I'm also looking for my other battleship. It's Farragut, Nicholas... Ah, there you are, Massachusetts. Massachusetts was running a little lower on shells. She still has plenty of 5-inch, but when it comes to engaging a battleship, and there are still some around, I'm not too confident. Now once again pausing until we have another encounter. Alright, this might be interesting. The Haddock is getting spotted by aircraft. And it's not just a recon or attack flight, there are also bombers about. Now I have a couple of aircraft of my own in the area, and that is in the form of, if I can select them, 3 Wildcats. I sent those guys to provide air cover for the submarine, and they're now going to be engaging what seems to be light to medium bombers. Let's have a look. Here's the Haddock on the surface, which is not ideal. So I'm going to put you on periscope depth. Because I think the aircraft are still out here. Yes, they are. And now it's up to the Wildcats to become the hunters. Yep. This should be easy pickings. Off we go. Several new aircraft. Oh, there's a load of them actually. Dive bombers too. Lots of them. Interesting. Looks like we're getting some incoming fire from the gun posts. Nope. You know what? I'm going to take manual control of this boy. Let's see if I can actually do some damage myself. I'd say don't count on it, but you never know. I think we need to be lower. Crap, we're losing a whole lot of wildcats here. Whoa! Okay, that was less than successful. Haddock, you're about to get bombed. Substantially. So let's have you turn to starboard, dive a whole lot deeper, and get outside of the range of those bombers. Because these are not going to stop. I'm not sure how I really established contact with these, actually. Because the Haddock is at a depth of 100 feet. How am I seeing those? That's fascinating. Ooh, that is ominous. Now, I really wonder what the plan of these boys is, because they're not going to hit a submarine with a torpedo attack like this. But the AI might not know that. The AI might be... There we go. The AI might be just trying to do their torpedo attack without any kind of an effect. Same for the dive bombers here, probably. I think we just have the... Yeah, there's the torpedo scooting over. These guys attack... Yep. Here comes another... Yep. Another torpedo attack. Against my submarine. There's the aircraft flying over. That's the shadows. So the torp should be sailing over right about there. I am glad that this is a submarine and not a surface ship, because a surface ship would have had substantial problems at this point. Anyway, I suppose we can just leave. Their bombs cannot hurt me, their torpedoes cannot hit me. I'm fine. Unfortunately, the loss of those wildcats was pretty unexpected. I thought we would have some easy pickings there. Misplayed. Not 1 minute later, there is, yes, another group of 3 destroyers next to the Hornet. So, once again, we're going to launch a couple of Dauntless bombers. Unfortunately, the other ones haven't returned to base yet. And I think I'm going to have to set these guys up to engage 2 of them and have one of the heavy cruisers or one of the cruisers engage. Alternatively, I can have the Avengers do it with the torpedoes. Because rocket attacks just don't work against DDs, we've seen that. No, I'm going to go with Dauntless Dive Bombers, because I think that the targets are going to be too maneuverable to be effective, or at least to be useful against destroyers. Alright, radar on. Peel off the heavy cruisers again. Or, no, sorry, not actually the heavy cruisers, the Atlanta classes. Targets spotted. Aircrafts. Dauntless, engage. Second Dauntless group, this direction. Let's see if we can identify this thing. / misidentify this thing. Minakaze class, no, I think it's a Momi. It has one of those encapsulated secondary funnels. And there's still plenty of those boys left. Jesus, they got a lot of those. Okay, assumedly, target 1's a Momi class. Target 3. Is that our Hatsuharu? Or a Fubuki? Is that the one with the 6 guns? Yeah. I think we're going to be playing this game quite a few more times. Just 3 destroyers getting sent out time and time and time again. I think this isn't... No, this is not another one. This one is lacking one turret relative to the other guy. Shiratsuyu class? Possible. Okay, Dauntlesses. Here. Same wing, or the other wing. Here. Yep, okay, off we go. Speed up time. Cruisers that way. Come on, you, this way. This time around I will need the Atlantis to take down whatever survives. Probably won't be too much. I'm expecting one surviving destroyer. But that one surviving destroyer can still cause issues. Engage. You're going to target Shiratsuyu. That way. As these guys are maneuvering to an attack position, we can have a look at what the first Dauntless Wing is doing. Looks like they're starting to maneuver, turning to port, presenting a slightly sleeker profile. Still probably won't be sufficient. Here we go, coming in on the dive. It's not an ideal attack vector. Ooh, missed. Did everybody miss? No, I think not. Minor damage, though. You guys did drop, right? Yes. Okay. So, you guys can leave. New target for you. Fubuki. Last target. Or at least the last in the group. Oakland, San Diego, San Juan. Form up. Line abreast. Maximum width. What the hell? Cut that out. Range? 17,000 yards. I'm not in range, am I? Yeah, close enough. But how many shells do I have? Oh, plenty. Commence your attack. Hold. You guys are not in a good position because the Fubuki is changing direction. Changing her course. Not a bad idea on her part, but I don't want to have another series of misses like I did with the previous attack. This, I think, is better. Go. I'm not controlling these guys manually, I'm just telling them I want you to attack from this position. And that seems to be working out better. Because the AI is definitely much, much, much better than myself at doing these dive bombing attacks. Wipe it out. At least one hit. Some damage, but I don't think it was as substantial as I would like. Let's see. The damage looks to be on the stern. I wonder if they're going to lose speed. I don't think so, because their engineering section is over there. So they're probably going to remain at that 23 knot speed. What about you? The Momi. 28 knots. And the second one, the Shiratsuyu, is just completely unscathed. Huh. That's not what I was hoping to see. Oakland! Have a go. I should have activated the radars on these guys. Would have helped substantially with doing more, or with getting a better firing solution. You're currently targeting what? Shiratsuyu 2. Okay. You're firing full salvos of, well, not armor piercing, but high explosive, considering I don't carry armor piercing. Let's just wipe out another 3 DDs. In the meanwhile, I forgot, did I take out all the Japanese heavy cruisers, or do they still have some left? Furutakas, dead. Auba's dead. Miyoko's, there's one Miyoko left. left. Cows. The Otago's left. Mogami's. 3 dead and 1 unavailable. So maybe repairing. Tone class. Dead. That's all of them. So they got 3 heavy cruisers left. The battleships. Kongo and Kirishima were sunk. Hyai and Haruna are left. And of course the Musashi. Still no idea where she went. Last time I saw her she was somewhere in the Solomon Sea, I think. Now they still have the Shokaku and the Zuikaku. It's the only aircraft carrier class they have. By the way, in my case, people keep suggesting that I field more aircraft carriers. I already have the Hornet on the front line, the Enterprise is undergoing repairs, and the Yorktown is unavailable. So I couldn't even bring that thing into the scenario if I wanted to, or into the campaign. There are no other aircraft carrier classes, nor are there CVEs, so escort carriers. So the only carriers that I get are the ones that I have either deployed already, or the ones that, well, the one that's currently unavailable, being the Enterprise, as it is down for repairs. As for the rest, let's see what the Japanese have left. We saw that they only have a few submarines. Light cruisers still decent amount. They're oilers and or cargo ships. I think you can spawn these in indefinitely. They just have an infinite amount of those, from what I can tell. So it's not like they're going to run out of those anytime soon. Alright, are you guys also shooting? Yes. San Diego. San Diego is not shooting. Hello? Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. The bow magazine is out. Like, I have no shells there. The stern has plenty. But, of course, I am not in a good firing angle with San Diego. I'm going to peel off the San Diego from that group. And have them engage by cutting off the Shiratsuyu. Thereby, hopefully allowing those stern batteries to work. That means that the Oakland is going to have different orders. Just make sure you charge in at maximum speed. Before both the Fubuki and the Momi get a chance to disengage. Sun 1, same orders. Just attack that thing. You attack that one, the Fubuki. Fubuki is doing 20 knots. We're slowly closing in on it, but we're probably going to waste a lot of ammunition trying to get that thing killed. Sun 1 is charging down the Momi, which is doing 28 knots. So she was definitely capable of fixing her damage and getting her engineering, or getting her propulsion back up. Fubuki, I think medium damage, moderate and minor flooding. Heavy damage and moderate flooding on the Fubuki. Oh, sorry, this is the Fubuki. Now, what's the range from the Oakland to the Shira? 10,000 yards. So if they want to, they can probably torque me at this point. DD. Shiratsuyu class. 16,000 yards. Yeah, they can definitely torque me. Now this is probably one of the last, let's say, DD pestering fights that I'll cover, because they just keep sending out these small groups of 3DDs time and time and time again. And there's only so many that I can cover before either I get bored with them, with covering them I mean, or before you get bored watching them. Are we killing off the Fubuki yet? Shells are coming reasonably close. San Diego is engaging. Good. You're targeting this Shira, right? Yes. With a very good accuracy as well. It's not like the Shira is going on an attack run. Oakland, new orders. Target Shiratsuyu. If that thing decides to come in for an attack and drop torpedoes against Oakland, then I'm going to have to change the attack pattern against the Momi and the Shiratsuyu, which I don't want. And on top of that, I don't want to be taking damage from that little thing. Gun damage or torpedo damage. Pretty much either is unacceptable. Don't Dauntless leaving the engagement area, that's fine. I should have brought the other Dauntlesses back aboard, just to make sure I have more aircraft available to take down these destroyers. This was a bit of a waste. Oakland, excellent firing solution. Switch to a narrow spread. Power commanding the Shiratsuyu, I'd say turn to port. Drop torps against Oakland, because if you don't hit the Oakland, you might still hit the San Juan. But they're not doing that. Which potentially is fortunate for me. Yeah, I know. There we go. Full hit on the bridge. She's starting to smoke. Those shells are coming awfully close now. That's the narrow spreads, fully dialed in. Another hit. This is exactly what I wanted those Atlantis to do. Take down destroyers and make sure that no aircraft gets close enough to the aircraft carrier to pose itself as a threat. And so far, they seem to be reasonably effective in both positions. Starting to smoke. Ooh. Ammo explosion, potentially. They really need to be changing the sounds of shells hitting the water, though. Maybe they can talk to the devs of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, because those really have the sounds dialed in. I think we're looking at critical flooding on this ship. I think she also stopped firing. Her speed's dropping. Ships are getting picked apart. Interestingly, the Momi is also charging in. For reasons that I don't quite understand. She's already damaged, but it's like she says, you know what, screw it. We're gonna be down anyway. Might as well look good doing it. And the San Juan probably agrees with that. Of course, as she is engaging and the Momi keeps turning, her solution dropped a little bit. But not so much that I'm getting worried about it. Shira is down to 9 knots, basically dead in the water. She just doesn't know it yet. Yeah, she's gone. New target, the Momi. San Diego status. Oh, you're too far away, are you? Okay, engage. How fast is the Fubuki? 20 knots. Well, she's kind of heading away. Crap. Okay, new course. We're going to charge directly after the Fubuki. And the San Juan is also engaging the Momi, which at this point is coming under attack from 2 Atlantas. So that's basically 14 5-inch guns per Atlanta class. So that's a lot of 5-inch shells that this thing is going to have to take. Which it pretty much can't. Although actually the Oakland is turning, meaning that she cannot bring all of her firepower to bear. Oh, and I forgot the San Diego, she's also pitching in. So yeah, this thing is getting killed off very, very quickly. Still no torps from the Japanese though. Hit. Speed's probably dropping at this point. 20 knots. Just the amount of shells that this thing is getting rained on. Maybe I should send San Diego back for repairs and resupply. Because she did quite a lot of fighting already. That means that I do have 1 Atlanta less to use against destroyers and to prevent air attack. But so long as I keep a patrol of Wildcats around and maybe have a few more Dauntlesses in the skies at all times, I'll be able to take down the DDs before I even need the cruisers. Are we for ammo? good. 936, Sun 1. 1000, 2800. Momi's doing 9 knots now. This guy's still 15,000 yards out. There we go. Alright, I'm going to end the episode here because chasing this guy down is going to take me a while and it will not really make for an interesting video. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. More next time. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be with you guys soon for another video. See you then.